Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we are going to talk about the Gem Summon Challenge. This is a one-day event where you will have the opportunity to get a guaranteed 5-star legendary hero if you do at least 10 gem pulls. I am going to take a look at all 10 of these heroes, see if it is worth doing this 10 gem pull, and which heroes might still be useful in today's meta. Real quick before we get started, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and turn that notification bell on so you can be alerted of when I drop new content. So if we click on the little question mark on the top here, it says Gem Summon Challenge. Summon heroes using gems to summon a random legendary hero from currently available heroes. Daily summons, mystic summons, and extra bonus draws do not grant progress in the Gem Summon Challenge. Appearance rate is 100%. So if you do a 10 times pull with gems, or if you do 10 individual pulls with gems, which I would not recommend the latter, then you will get a free random legendary hero from this list of 10 heroes. We've got Ariel and her costume. She is from Season 2, a pretty outdated hero with a total individual power of 1223, but depending on the level of player you are, she's a pretty decent healer. We've got Atomos and his costume. He is another outdated hero and probably has a little bit less use than costume Ariel. Unfortunately, we've got costume Missandra. She's also from Season 2. She's an interesting hero and maybe somebody worth leveling up depending on the level of player that you are. She is fast mana speed, hits one enemy for 280% damage, and then has a 42% chance for additional hits on random enemies up to 3 times. The additional hits are minor damage, but all enemies that are hit automatically cast mindless attack on a random ally when mana is full at the start of the turn for 3 turns. She is definitely an interesting hero and somebody I would have to make a tough decision on if I were to level her. I have definitely leveled heroes that had lower individual power than her because of the mindless attack. Kushanku is somebody who comes to mind who I got from the Soul Exchange event back in February, and I did level him up. I got him at level 85, and I used him every single war. He also gets his mindless attack in just 5 tiles. Missandra would get hers in 7 tiles, so that's still very useful. Her regular version is completely different than her costume version. I would not recommend doing the regular version because they're not going to get that mindless attack on the fighter regular version. Next up in this event is going to be Oceanus. Oceanus is definitely an interesting hero, especially for Titans because of that increased normal attack damage, but a lot of people, myself included, use costume Wilbur for Titans because it's 100% extra damage, I believe. Obviously, this is better than that, but to spend all those materials on a hero for an extra 20% attack, personally, not worth it for me, but another hero that's probably going to depend on the level of player that you are, and he does not have a costume, so has a total individual power of 1126. Next up in this event is going to be Tethys, and Tethys is probably, out of these 10 heroes, the one that I personally want the most. She is a great hero for both events, like challenge events, alliance quests, and tower events, and then she's also really good for Titans and Mythic Titans as well. She's fast mana speed, deals 300% damage to the target and nearby enemies. Those enemies also get 612 water damage over 3 turns, and then most importantly, all allies that are not of the ice element get plus 30% attack for 3 turns, and all ice allies get plus 60% attack for 3 turns. Obviously, she has a weak total individual power, but she's going to be extremely useful for events again because of the fact that she's a 3-hitter, and then Titans and Mythic Titans because of that plus 60% attack for 3 turns for all ice heroes. So if you are going to be playing mono, then you're going to get a lot of extra attack because of that, and that does stack with effects like that we just looked at with Oceanus, because if we go back to him and take a look at his special again, it says normal attacks can have a total maximum of plus 170% increased power while this effect is active. So you wouldn't get that full plus 60%, you would only get 50% out of Tethys. If you had a hero like this for your ice hero roster, like Mickey, for example. Unfortunately, I do not have Mickey. I do have that new hero from the Untold Tales 2 portal, the 4-star hero, Dane, I think that was, but he only works on 3 allies, himself and nearby allies. But Tethys is a very specific hero, definitely not somebody that you're going to be able to use in war if you are a higher level player because of her stats, but definitely an interesting hero. And the next two heroes that I'm going to talk about are probably the most useful in this portal because of the fact that they have very updated stats because of their costumes, and they also resist insanity. The first of them is Thalassa, who is also a healer. So she gives a small overheal with her first charge of 500 health, and then she's also going to make it so that all allies are immune to new status ailments for 3 turns. Her second charge boosts health by 800. The duration of status ailments is reset for all enemies, and all allies are immune to new status ailments for 4 turns. Thalassa is a great hero. Again, resisting insanity is a very useful passive. All of the Untold Tales 2 costumes have this. I have Thalassa on my roster already, double limit broken. I definitely use her in Ancient Terror War, and I use her in most other wars also, unless if I'm going up against 6 Fergus and Bernadette tanks in a single war, which does happen pretty often. And then the other Untold Tales 2 costume hero that we have is Galapagos. Galapagos is awesome, great against minion and mega minion heroes. His first charge destroys all minions from all enemies and damages all mega minions. Then he's going to deal 270% damage to all enemies. All allies get plus 25% defense for 3 turns. His second charge, he is going to destroy all minions and damage mega minions, and then deals 400% damage to all enemies. He's also going to add a stack at a max of 10. The caster recovers 30 health each time for each destroyed minion. All allies get plus 55% defense for 4 turns. He also has the resist insanity passive, so extremely useful in Ancient Terror War, or if you are going up against insanity heroes. Galapagos is a great hero, and as you can see, he has awesome stats at a total individual power of 1527. Next up, we've got Ultrox, who also has that Changing Tides mana. He's going to first deal 30% damage for each dark shield on the board to all enemies, up to 300% damage in total. The caster and nearby allies counterattack with 90% of the damage received for 3 turns. The caster and nearby allies reduce all received damage by minus 35% for 3 turns. So his second charge is going to have a little bit of an increase from that first charge, obviously. He's going to deal 35% damage for each dark shield on the board to all enemies, up to 350% damage in total. The caster and nearby allies counterattack with 130% of the damage received for 4 turns, and the caster and nearby allies reduce all received damage by minus 45% for 4 turns. His ether power is also damage reduction, so he's going to reduce a lot of damage against himself. His costume is not available, so he's got a total individual power of 1269, so not the best of stats, obviously, but again, depending on the level of player that you are, Ultrox could definitely be worth leveling up. Next up is going to be Ephyra. So Ephyra's costume is not shown here, so it actually looks like her costume is not available if you do get her, even though she does have a costume. I'm guessing because her costume recently came out. I think she was one of the last heroes from the Untold Tales 1 series that got a costume, or maybe like the second previous one before that, but it's recently come out within the last 2 or 3 months, so I'm guessing that's why it's not available here, where Galapagos and Thalassa's costumes have been out for probably close to a year or so. Ephyra is a minion summoner. For her first charge, she summons a jellyfish minion for each ally with 30% health and 42% attack inherited from the caster. Gives a stack to all allies that get plus 5% inherited health for new minions they summon. The second charge replaces all fiends on all allies with jellyfish minions, then summons a jellyfish minion for each ally with 37% health and 42% attack inherited from the caster, and then all allies get that stack of plus 5% inherited health for new minions that they summon. So definitely an interesting hero, much better if you have her costume. Without her costume, I can show you the stats without any emblems or limit breaking, but I can't show in the game the max preview without the costume bonus also. So she's probably going to end up somewhere around probably that 1230 or 1250 if you were to double limit break and add emblems and master class emblems to her without the costume. And then the last hero in this event is going to be Galert, who also does not have a costume available yet from the Untold Tales 1 series. His first charge is going to steal 10% mana from the target, deals 460% damage to the target. The less mana the enemies have, the more damage they will receive, up to 600%. All allies then get plus 25% mana generation for 3 turns. His second charge steals 20% mana from the target, deals 530% damage to the target. The less mana the enemies have, the more damage they will receive, up to 700%, and then all allies get plus 30% mana generation for 3 turns. So he is a sniper that steals mana and gives increased mana generation for everybody. Snipers are extremely useful in this game right now, but unfortunately his stats only coming in at about 1272, and the fact that he does not yet have a costume at the time that I'm recording this video. I think it actually comes out either this month or next month, but without that costume bonus, he is not going to be very usable unless if you are in a lower level alliance and go up against less powerful opponents in wars. Just not as strong of a special as a lot of these other Changing Tides mana heroes. All right, so is it worth it to do gem pulls to get one of these heroes as a guarantee? And this is a limit 1 per event. We don't know yet if this is going to be a monthly recurring event or if it's going to be bi-monthly or every 3 months. With it only being available for a single day, I would hope that it's available once a month or at least every other month, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what that looks like. But because of the fact that there isn't like a specific portal that you have to do these gem pulls in, I do think that it could be worth it if there is a good portal to pull from when this event is active. And right now there are actually 2 portals to pull from, with the War of Three Kingdoms portal with some really good heroes from that new family that just got introduced, and the Covenant summon is available right now, and there's some really good heroes in that event as well right now. So in the War of Three Kingdoms portal, you've got the new heroes Song Jiang. We've also got Li Qiu, and then the other new hero, Ruan Zhaoqi. I did recently say I was not going to try to pronounce these new heroes' names anymore, but I did just try, so hopefully I didn't butcher it too bad. But those 3 heroes, especially the blue and the red one, look really good. So that could definitely be a good portal for you to pull from if you wanted to use gems. There's also the Covenant summon, who has one of the best heroes in the game right now, or at least seems to be one of the most coveted heroes with Ceres. He is a part of the Astral Dwarves family. There's also a couple other dwarves. We've got Gongoth, and then there's also Quarry. And then on top of those 3 heroes, there's also Flamehide from the Garrison Guard family, there's Sable from the Fox family, and then there's also Costume Melena, who is a very sought after hero also. I already have Sable. I do not have any of the other ones maxed or limit broken. I do have Flamehide, who I was working on, and then I pulled Naeem, so I was working on Naeem, but I would love to pull any of the other 4 heroes, so I am actually going to do a 10 times pull with gems in this Covenant summon. Hopefully I get one of those 4 heroes that I would like to get, and the odds in this portal are actually pretty decent compared to some of the other ones. To get a legendary featured hero, there is a 1.6% chance of getting that, and then any other legendary hero in the event has a 0.9%, and then of course 1.3% for the hero of the month, May. And then there's also a 3rd portal going on right now at this time that is worth doing as well, with the Contest of Elements. So in that portal, we have the very first Costume of Elements costume with Ignacio. I had a ton of Elements coins saved up in preparation of trying to pull for Ignacio, and I actually got him on like the 17th pull, I think. So definitely excited to get him. And then the other featured hero is Goose, who does not have the best of reviews right now. I think everybody is anticipating that they will eventually get a buff, but their special is just lacking something in my opinion. So I would say out of the 3 portals, this portal would probably be the last of the ones that I would do a gem pull from, depending on the heroes that you already have and the heroes that you're looking for. I would definitely look at the Covenant portal or the War of Three Kingdoms portal. And like I said, I am going to do a 10 times pull in the Covenant portal right now, and then we're going to see who we get for our free guaranteed legendary hero. Hopefully I get one of the featured heroes in the Covenant portal also. All right, so I am going to try the little trick here to find 2 heroes next to each other of the same element, and then we're gonna put this right in between, and I'm gonna click the 10 times summon for the gems here, and let's see if we can get lucky, pull one of these featured heroes that I do not already have. First up is 3-star Hawkmoon, another 3-star with Kalani from Season 1. We're on a string of Season 1 heroes. We got Ceres. Oh my god, we got legendary hero Ceres. That's the one I would have liked over anybody, and I've got plenty of rings. That is awesome. I am very happy right now. Let's see if we can get anything else as we get a couple other 3 stars. Guardian Bat. And Sargasso, all right, well, not the best of heroes, but he will be soul exchange food for next time. But Ceres is an amazing hero. He deals damage to a specific target. If the target had more than 50% mana before receiving damage, targets another enemy who had over 50% mana before receiving any damage from this special skill. If none of the other enemies had 50% mana, targets a random enemy. The damage is reduced on each consecutive hit. Each enemy can only be hit once. All hit targets get silenced for 4 turns. And then he's also going to wither all enemies by 180 attack and 180 defense, although I believe that's higher after you max him. Let me go take a look at his max preview stats real quick, but I am super excited about pulling Ceres. And then we got Sargasso as well, who's just a very old hero that is definitely not going to get leveled up for me. And Ceres does indeed get everybody down by minus 250 attack and minus 250 defense, and he's going to hit the main target for 600% damage. So he's kind of similar to Lemonwood in the sense that he's going to hit more enemies the more mana the enemies have, but he's not going to reduce their mana. He's actually going to silence all of those hit enemies by 4 turns. Super annoying to go up against when he's on defense, and on offense also looks really useful as well. That was a crazy pull. I will certainly take it. All right, let's move on to our free guaranteed legendary hero, which is kind of like a little icing on the cake, I guess you could say. So now you can see that the progress bar says 10 out of 10. So let's claim our free reward. Personally, like I said, I'm hoping for Tethys probably. If not, I would definitely take one of the Untold Tales 1 costume heroes with Galapagos or Thalassa. And then Missandra is probably the 4th option that I would take. So hopefully I get one of those 4. All right, so here we go. Who's it gonna be? We're gonna get Galert. All right, well, definitely not the best of options for me. But again, if you're gonna do gem pulls anyway in one of these portals, you may as well do it while this event is live so you can get a free guaranteed legendary hero, whether it's gonna be somebody that you level up or that you are gonna save for soul exchange food for the next event. Let me know if you all decided to do pulls during this gem summon challenge. And that is gonna do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button, make sure you sub to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.